Hey, this is Allie Edwards and welcome to day 5 of December Daily 2017. Today I'm going to have a really short little story that's kind of an everyday life story, and I'll show you. I have a few things laid out here that I've been looking at. I also have one of these tags. You can go back to my Foundation Pages video to see where I made these tags, and there's a download on that post as well for this. And I'm just having these spread throughout the album. So this is one of the things that I like to do in advance. So I'm not working on these each day in December, but it's something that's done, and I had people, or some of them have already filled them out, and others I still need to have fill out over the course of the month. So what I had in here for the next day was just a one of these page protectors that's cut in half. So I literally laid a 4-pocket page protector on my trimmer, cut that in half. I have an Avery Index tab here that I'm gonna add something to. I looked back through my stash. Well, first I established what my story was gonna be, and I thought of a few different things. And I took a photo of myself on a walk yesterday with a very big leaf. And I was thinking about telling a story of getting outside and exercising, or self-care in December, or something related to that. And I thought about, I'm working on a really big puzzle right now, which is probably going to make its way into a story here at some point. Maybe I'll use that actually for tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. So anyway, for today, I'm going to tell a story about self-care in December, or just doing that kind of thing. And I looked through my stash. I have, a collection of random things. One of the things I have is this baggie that has a bunch of stars from over the years, confetti pieces, stars that we've offered in the story kit, which are these gold ones with thick plastic. And there were also some numbers in there that are these large white plastic numbers. These were from a Week in the Life kit. And if these are still available, I'll link them for you in the supply list. But I did have a number 5, so I'm going to use that. I love it just because it's white, because it's transparent. And then I'm going to use some of these gold glitter stars from the chipboard bundle, and I'm going to use these for on top of the number 5. I'll probably put 2 of them on there, so there's one in the front and one in the back. So when you turn the page, then there will be still another star here on the side, and then I'll put a journaling card in here behind my photo, and that will be my story for day 5. I think that this, again, is a good reminder, and I try to remind you guys of this all the time, but that these stories don't have to be, well, number 1, they don't have to be long and complicated. They don't have to be super crafty unless you want them to. Like the next page that I did, that took a lot more time and a lot more kind of craftiness, and I'll use that for my story tomorrow, and I will have already spent the time focused on that part so I can focus on the story tomorrow. So those are the kinds of things that I'm trying to think about, and one of the reasons why I still do the Foundation Pages. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. The first thing for me that I need to check on, well, I'm going to adhere this star right on here. Let's see. I think that looks fine. And then, like I said, I'm going to do one on the back too. So I'm just grabbing another one of these. I also, those of you that are Story Kit subscribers, I think in the Best Story Kit, we had these white plastic hearts that are really thin. I thought about including one of those in there, and I liked how it matched, or it was, had the similar kind of shape of the leaf, almost like a star, but I decided to go with the large 5 instead. But these are in my stash of things to consider using. So you might have those if you are a Story Kit subscriber. And if you are new to my projects and products, I have a monthly Story Kit subscription that you can check out and subscribe to, where we have a topic each month, or a theme. Like those stars were from the theme of Best, and we told stories related to the theme of Best. The one for next month is the topic is For the Love, and so we'll have a whole kit and stamps and add-ons that are all related to that theme as well. So if you're interested in checking that out, we can put a link here. You can just go to my website and look at under story subscription. So there's the front and back. I just did it, like I said, front to back there. And I'm going to slip that in the pocket. I'm thinking that I will probably staple that in place just to make sure that it stays in there. Actually, it's probably fine. Well, it's pretty thick there. So when you do the stars, obviously it's going to make it a little bit thicker. And then my next page is thick too. So I think that I will probably staple that in place. Let's go ahead and pull this out. I am not going to put anything on top of this photo. I'm just gonna leave the photo. What I needed to see though is that I opened the pocket. So when you put a index tab on here, you do need to cut a little slit to be able to put something in the pocket. And I might have already done it, but I can't tell. So there, now I'll be able to slip my photo for the day right into the pocket. There's that. So then I think up here, like I said, I think what I'm going to do is staple that in place, get it where I want it to be. Kind of in the center there, it automatically wants to push itself over. That looks good enough. And then I'm gonna grab a tiny attacher and I'm gonna see if I can just staple right there. Yeah, and that kind of comes through on the other side, but that'll keep it in place there. Like barely came through on the other side, but I still think that'll be good enough to staple it to there. So staple at least to the page protector, so that will hold it in place. So there's the front, and then on the back, like I said, I'm going to do a journal card, and I think I'm just going to type one up on my printer. I kind of considered some of the journal cards that I still have from the kit. But because it's more of an everyday life one, I think I'm just going to, I may just type it up and put a sticker or a chipboard piece or something else as a title. So I'm gonna go figure out what I wanna do for that, and then I'll hop back on here. Okay, so what I decided to do for my journaling was I created a card, and I'll have this card available for you guys as a free download with the word art there if you want to document a story like this as well. Just with the self-care, and I made it in green that it will, you know, it's just going to slip right into the pocket here, and did my journaling a little bit about getting outside and how great that was and that kind of thing. So I want to add some other little embellishment on here, I feel like, or a stamp, or maybe just a rolling date stamp, some other little bit of something to go on there. So I'm gonna look through my stuff and see what else I have to add. So after looking through my stuff, I decided to just keep it super simple. I didn't leave a lot of room on there, so I'm just gonna date stamp right on the top, right in that self-care section right there, right above with the date. And just call it good. Again, it's the reminder that it doesn't have to be big and crafty and complicated, and it can be if you want it to be, of course. But this is, for me, this is a longevity project, right? In terms of, there's a lot of, I have a lot more stories to tell. I have 20 more stories to tell over the course of the month, so I wanna make sure that I am pacing myself. And of course, you know, I know not everybody does it the same way in terms of doing it throughout the, you know, keeping up with it over the course of the month and doing it later on, and that works totally fine too. So the other thing that I wanna do is add an index tab in there. So I need to grab some of the papers for the index tab, and then I think what I'm gonna do is just use that same stamp set that I used the other day. And I think that I'm gonna do just maybe currently, because it's kind of related to what I'm doing. I think I'll just do it on the same side, or, you know, do the same stamp on both sides. And I'm just using StazOn ink because that's easy, and I know that it works on pretty much every surface. All right, there we go. So currently day 5, just a story about self-care, and then we will move on to day 6 tomorrow.